सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुर सुधारी, बरनौ रघुबर बिमल जसु, जो दायकु फलचारी। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके, सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि, हरहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीश तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवारी सुमति के संगी। कंचन वरन विराज सुबेशा, कानन कुंडल कुंजित केशा। हाथ ब्रज और ध्वजा बिराजे, कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, बिकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर रषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सब भाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जब कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते, कबि कौबिद कहि सके कहते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीना, राम बिलाय राजपत दीना। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मैली मुख बाहि, जल्दी लागी गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुहारे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सभारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम बचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता, अस्मर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्त न धरहि, हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो 7 बार पाठ कर कोई, छूटहि बंधि महा सुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होए सिद्ध साकी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजय नाथ हृदय बहडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूरति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसो सुरभूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ram. We have reached verse number 43 and 44. दोषै रेतेः कुल घनानां, वर्ण संकर कारकैः। उत्साद्यन्ते जाति धर्माः, कुल धर्माश्च शाश्वताः। And then 44. उत्सन्न कुल धर्माणां, मनुष्याणां जनार्दन। नरके नियतं वासो, भवति त्यनुशुश्रुमा, भवति त्यनुशुश्रुमा. These 2 verses are like the concluding arguments of Arjun, because he tried all sorts of arguments, didn't he? Initially he started with mind and thine, then all are mind. Then he started with how can we kill people who belong to us. Then because of the vicinity of Sri Krishna, because of the right Guru turning towards the Lord, his arguments were becoming better. Better in the sense, his mind and heart were expanding to look at it from a greater perspective. And then he went on to say that the entire dharma, cycle of dharma, like the entire decorum of dharma will get destroyed. Lots of arguments we have discussed, and in the end he's concluding it, he's summarizing it. Doshai rete kul gananam varna sankar karakaihe. The entire varna cycle, varna sankar, varna system will get disrupted because of dosh, because of different kind of vices which are going to inhabit it. And not only this, the dharma will fall. All the traditions, all the things that we were doing, our culture will get shaken up. Not only from the kul, not only from varna, from across. So basically, if we try to understand what he's trying to say, is that there is this sadharma. There is dharma and there is sadharma. Sadharma is our Satchit Anand Swarup. That is the dharma of every individual. What is it? It is Sad Chid Anand. Right? What is Satchit Anand? Being in our ever blissful nature, being ever loving. That is the essence of our existence. And to keep or reach that Sadharm, there are subdivisions of Dharma. So just for the ease of understanding, we'll say that like different jati, different kul, different, like for instance, different states, Marathis and Rajasthanis, then within those also there are different divisions, right? And each division, not only that, if we go down to per family, has his or her own way of doing things, right? But we should not forget that at that time it was in line with Sadharma. The main dharma was to achieve our Satchit Anand Swarup or remain in our Satchit Anand Swarup, and all these different divisions till the family level were helping people remain in that Satchit Anand Roop. Now Arjun over here is saying, once there is war, the family, the institution called family, is going to be destroyed. Isn't it? Family is a very great institution. Grihast ashram again is very important. That is the foundation of dharma. That is the foundation of sadharma. When the grihast ashram, when the householder, when the family unit gets polluted and disrupted, the entire dharma system gets destroyed. That is what Arjun is trying to say. Because in wars, he is vehemently talking against wars. Because in wars, what happened? People die, the families are broken, and after that, there are no proper sanskar given to the children. And then after that, the generations that come are also diluted. This is the outcome. We all know the outcome of war is not good. So what he is saying over here is, war will cause the demise of the institution called family. Above that, the kul. Above that, the varna. Above that, the entire Sadharma system, the entire Sanatana Dharma is going to collapse. That is what Arjun is saying. And he is definitely not wrong from that perspective. And what he's saying is, not only this, in verse 44, he says that because of this, not only will the descendants suffer, even our ancestors will suffer, and the current generation will also suffer. So Manushyanam, he takes into, it comprises of all, the descendant, the ancestors, and everybody in it. Utsanna Kula Dharmanam, when the Kul Dharma goes to the dogs, it falls. Who suffers? Manushyanam. And who is he talking to right now? Janardhan. This is something we have to notice. Arjun, over here, whenever he is referring to Sri Krishna, he has taken the name very specifically. Whenever the situation demands, the name has been changed. Over here, Janardhan, when we'll see, Janardhan means inflicts suffering on the evil man, or the other meaning could be who people pray for liberation. It is very apt over here. So he's saying, you inflict suffering on evil people and you are the one who are going to liberate. Janardhan, if the entire human race gets deluded because of this so-called war that we are going to launch, won't we, especially me, go to hell because I am the cause of this war? I initiated the war. All the people who die, it is going to be on my hand. All the bloodshed is going to be on my hand. Not only this, the damage to the future is going to be on my hand. The damage of the ancestors is going to be on my hand. It is going to cause the damage of dharma. Beyond everything, the dharma, falling of Sanatana Dharma is going to be associated with me, and I am going to rot in hell. So I have heard. Whoever destroys dharma from the Sant Dharma level to the household level is entitled to rot in hell. So I have heard. Shushruva. I have heard. He's not talking from his mind. Arjun was not an ordinary person. He was a very learned devotee. He spent years, ages, so much of time doing tap, gaining knowledge. He had control over his indriyas, he had control over his nidra, he had control over so many things. So when he is talking, he is not talking based on his own whims. He is referring to what the gurus have said. He is referring to what has been said in the scriptures. He is referring to authorized material, authorized people. He is not talking out of his pocket. And this is something we have to learn from Arjun. What is the basis of our talk? Right now we have empty talk. We do not know head or tail of our scriptures, of our dharma, of Sanatan dharma, of our culture. Yet we are the first to comment and demean it. आपको पता है? Are you an authority? How do you become an authority? Either you listen to the authority and learn from them, or listen to the scriptures and learn from them, read the scriptures and learn from them. जब आपने कुछ भी नहीं करा, तो you have no authority to talk about this kind of a topic. So over here Arjun is saying, I'm not talking from my own mind. Krishna, Janardhan, so I have heard. That you are the destroyer of evil, you are the liberator also. So I have heard from the scriptures, from my gurus. It has been an age-old saying, age-old learning, which I am telling you, that if we destroy dharma from the unit, family unit, if the dharma gets lost from there, the kul dharma will get lost, the jati dharma will get lost, and eventually sadharma and Sanatan dharma will get lost, and I, because of being the cause, will rot in hell. Kuch galat bola? Nahi bola. And this is what is happening around us. It was a dharma youth. He forgot the essence of the youth. They were fighting to establish dharma because dharma was getting lost. Dharma can be established only when it is in the hands of the righteous, of the just. And when the wise decide to keep quiet, the fools are going to shout out loud. And most of the time, the wise decide to remain quiet. Why? Because they feel कि क्या फर्क पड़ता है? फर्क पड़ता है. फर्क पड़ता है. And that is what Sri Krishna is going to explain later. Right now, he's just quiet. And this is his final argument. It is not my tide, it is not they and my religions, it is not my relatives, my blood, it is the dharma. Now look at the magnitude of his argument. And it is just. When a family cannot retain its culture, we have to understand again and again, one thing we have to make very clear in our mind is Sanatan dharma is not a religion, it is a way of life. And our rishis, our gurus have given us those rituals, traditions and festivals. Everything that is around us is based on that way of life. If we negate as householders, we negate those rituals, those traditions and say andhavishwas hai, stupidity hai, it does not apply anymore because we do not know the scientific reason. See, we don't try to find out why. We just negate it because it does not make sense to us. And that is a big problem. Over here, Arjun is using facts and figures. He is using age-old wisdom along with his vivek. What do we do with our vivek? We keep it inside, somewhere locked in a cupboard. We don't have vivek. We don't have discrimination. Not discrimination in the form of discriminating against people. It is discrimination against your thoughts. Think, दिमाग पे घूम क्या रहा है? विवेक अप्लाई करो. And how will Vivek come? Vivek comes when you have wisdom. How will wisdom come? Wisdom comes with true knowledge. And without true knowledge, without wisdom, Vivek कहाँ से आएगा? And then whatever we are saying is going to be blank. And that causes demise of a dharma. Now Arjun is saying if these people lose track, If a household unit is destroyed, so is dharma. Do we understand what kind of weightage, what kind of responsibility Arjun is putting on our shoulders? We feel that to uphold dharma is the job of the sages, the sannyasis, the gurus, the pandits. Over here, Arjun is saying to uphold dharma, we need the householders, the noble grihasthas, the noble people, their children to follow the dharmic path. If they lose track, they get blinded, everything will be lost. And what he said has come true today. He said has come true today. Because we do not want to follow dharma, we do not want to uphold our culture, we do not want to understand the Sanatana dharmic way of life. And he's whining, he's crying, he is refusing to fight, and Sri Krishna is smiling. And he knows what Janardhan does not know, कि war is so bad, it can cause so much harm. But what Arjun does not know is that it is not he who is fighting the battle. It is Sri Krishna. अभी तक अर्जुन saying, I will go to Nark. वो मतलब अर्जुन में कर्ता भाव है. And this is something which is very dangerous. What is karta bhav? Doership. Doership is when you say, I did it. Are you doing something? Can you achieve something? It is God who is doing everything to you. Then where is the ego about me doing it? And when something does not work, we feel guilty and we condemn ourselves like Arjun is doing. Again, that's an ego. Because I did it wrong. Arey bhai, what is there in your hand? Eventually, Sri Krishna will explain it. But this kind of a delusion comes when you feel you are the doer. We are not the doer. We are not the karta. We are just the puppets in the hands of the Lord. So although Arjun has surrendered to the Lord, although he chose Lord over everything, he still feels that he chose Lord. When Duryodhan and Arjun were asked by Sri Krishna, what do you want? Because Sri Krishna saw Arjun first, he said, I'll ask you first, you want me or my Narayani Sena? He said, I want you, Sri Krishna. But that is the problem again. That happens to a sadhak. He feels that he chose God. Arey bhai, nobody can choose God. If the Lord feels that you are the right person, He will choose you and make you eligible. Do we even know what is the eligibility to get Lord? He thinks, I chose Sri Krishna. Jaise I chose Sri Krishna, the ego comes. Na? What is ego? Ego is I. Until that I is there, Vishad rahega. Grief will be there. Confusion will be there. Because in a place where there are no two, you are holding on to two and looking at the world from that perspective. Think about it. So from the superficial point of view, what Arjun is saying is very right. He's saying, if the war happens, the family unit will get deluded. And again, he has given a very great stand to mothers, women. It is a mother who can make or break the future. It is a mother who can give sanskars. But if that mother herself loses sanskars, what sanskars will she give to the children? What culture will she teach? What traditions will she pass? And that is what he is worried about. We cannot lose this grip of tradition because everything is interlinked in Sanatana Dharma because it's a way of life. I'm repeating it again and again because it is very essential for us to understand this point. Everything is connected. Sadharma, dharma is connected. Sadharma, jati dharma, varna dharma, kul dharma and family ka, grihasth dharma, all are connected. Who is upholding dharma? It is not the sadhus, not the sannyasis, not the yogis, not the pandits. It is the householders. Because they have control over the next generation. And they have to pass this on. It is another story that yes, the householders should be guided by a guru. Most householders don't even have gurus nowadays. All the householders, all the grihasthas should be guided by scriptures. Most householders don't even know the meaning of scriptures. They don't have the time. Khana, peena, sona or marjana is not what a grihasth should do. And this is what the first chapter is. It is a human manual, right? What is Geeta? Geeta is our manual. We as humans, how should we live our life and reach that ultimate bliss? It's a manual for us. And when do we pick up this manual to understand? When we are almost taking our last breath. So when should we try understanding this module, this manual? Before we are born. Our parents should have already practiced. Their parents, because we are a subtotal of them only. We have learned this in the previous verses also. It's so beautiful. The first chapter is for introspection. And introspect. Keep thinking, keep musing, keep questioning. Write down those questions. Very essential. So what he's saying is very justified. दुष्ट हो जाएंगे सब, घर टूट जाएंगे, दुष्ट हो जाएंगे, धर्म का पालन नहीं करेंगे, धर्म की रक्षा नहीं करेंगे, धर्म को ये लोग मूर्ख समझेंगे ही नहीं फिर, और मैं इस पाप का भागी नहीं बनूंगा. Finish. That is what he's saying. From the outer perspectives. Now we will go deeper inside. As we explained, every cell to the body, to this world, to this universe, to this multiverse is just a replica, isn't it? Bigger, 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 bigger. There is no difference. बड़ा 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 होते जाता है. So what is applicable to the world is applicable to me. What is happening within me is happening within each and every cell of mine. So if we take this entire verse inwards, what is Arjun saying? In the last words, from the Adhyatmic point of view, we said, you have to leave Rajas, Tamas, and ultimately you have to leave Sattva also. So Rajas, Tamas, till you leave, it is okay. But when somebody says Sattva bhi chhodna hai, that is when the seeker gets worried. Because Gunatit Avastha he feels is going to be a vacuum. It is not easy. Arjun is an elevated sadhak. And he has reached a point when Rajas, Tamas have been dropped. But this I is not going because sattvic tendencies he's holding on to. Just to explain simply, to leave Tamas, we take help of Rajas. To leave Rajas, we take help of Sattva, right? What would be sattvic tendencies or what would be a sattvic circle? Where you go to satsangs, where you attend discourses, where you talk about the Lord. There's nothing wrong in it. We will say that is the best thing to do. Hari Kirtan, Hari Charcha, Hari Kirtan, Hari Charcha. But after a point, if somebody tells you have to drop it, satsang bhi chhod do, solitude is what is needed, khalbali bach jayegi andar, because it is not easy. See, somewhere down the line, we are feeding our desires, we are feeding our enjoyment. We want enjoyment, right? Somebody promptly asked me, Guru Purnama, what she asked me, कि तुम कथा करती हो, हरि नाम सुनाती हो, how do you feel? Do you enjoy it? I said, yes, I enjoy it. She said, do you enjoy it? I said, yeah, अच्छा लगता है. She said, think about it. And later, while in the course of the discourse, she looked at me and she said, Hari Naam, Hari Katha, Hari Charcha is not for enjoyment. The question you should ask yourself is this connecting me? Is this connecting me to that divine? What changes are happening to me? It took 5 years, only 5 years, for a Narendra to become a Vivekanand. 5 years. 5 years of the company of Ramakrishna Paramahansa. What is happening to us? We have then analyze. I have been in the company of scriptures for so long. I have been going to satsang for so long. Or I have been listening to this guru. What change has come in me? We have to analyze ourselves and the change that has come within. What change can I see within myself? Is there any change? What has transformed? Have I become a better me? Introspect. Every time, make a journal, make a track record of the changes that you have seen within yourself. Again, we can fool the world, but we cannot fool ourselves. लोगों की जिंदगी निकल जाती है सत्संगों में जा जाके, पर कुछ परिवर्तन नहीं आता. And slowly, it is going to happen. It is inevitable. And a sadhak does resist because slowly, even that sang, which is good, has to be dropped. So far so, they say, Satve mein you want the Lord. After that, you should just be. That want for the Lord should also not be there. जो आप कर रहे हैं, उसी में you should feel so fulfilled. Why ask? Why want? If you say, I want the Lord, you think you are eligible, right? We hear about Shabrima. When Ramji came to Chitrakoot, all the sages were going, and this Shabrima had spent her entire life thinking and waiting for Ram. Every day she would decorate the streets. Every day she would take away the thorns. And when Sri Ram came to Chitrakoot, the sages from her ashram were going to meet Sri Ram. And they said, come, Shabrima, budi ho gayi, ab pata nahi kitni saase bachi hai. Who knows how long you will live for? You also come with us. But Shabrima said, no. I am not going. When Ram thinks I am ready, he will come. How do I know whether I am eligible to be in the company of Ram? Keep doing that sadhana. Keep doing till it becomes sadhana. It becomes effortless. फिर भी करते रहो. That should become you. There should be no difference between you and your sadhana. There should be no effort. And after that, there should be no ambition or no want for anything also. कि मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे वो चाहिए. No. You have to drop the desire for the Lord also. You have to drop that desire to do good also. You have to drop everything. And so Arjun says, Are, the minute, now sattva, these righteous things, the satsang, this doing good, this good thoughts is the fortress which is keeping the evil thoughts out, the evil deeds out, my vices out. The minute you tell me, drop this fortress, it is like you are opening the gate of the castle and you're letting all the invaders come in again. This is not possible. This is dangerous. Kya bol rahe ho? How can I do such a thing? What will happen? This is a fear. But this fear has to be overcome. Unless and until we leave all the three tattvas, we are not free. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas से ये संसार बना है. Rajas, Tamas छोड़ना है. Ultimately, Sattva भी छोड़ना पड़ेगा. We will understand. This is just a thought that is coming in the mind of a great seeker. Now let's take it to a simpler explanation that is coming to my mind. When we seek anything in life, okay? Whenever we want to achieve something in life, which is a little difficult, which is going to be unique, which could be a gold medal in the Olympics, or which could be to become a star singer that the world remembers, what is needed? Think about it. See, this is a granth which can be applied to our daily lives also. Because our daily lives are a battlefield. कुरुक्षेत्र ही है, कुरुक्षेत्र जहां पे हम कर्म कर रहे हैं. And now suppose you have to choose कि I want to become something in life. I want to achieve something in life. What will happen? Slowly, you'll have to drop off things. Because टाइम तो वही 24 घंटे ही है ना, और उम्र तो वही है 100 साल. इफ़ यू आर लकी 100 साल, अदरवाइज तो 100 साल की भी कोई गारंटी नहीं है. तो यू हैव ओनली 24 hours. And that master musician or that master singer or that master swimmer wants to reach the top. And again, all this is possible when the body is working. For an athlete, there is that peak age when he can achieve, right? After that, the body starts, no matter how good you are, your body starts giving way. Even for the sadhak, it applies, huh? Till your body is working. जब आप बैठ ही नहीं पाओगे आसन लेके, जब सर दर्द होगा, शरीर दुखेगा, तब आप क्या साधना करोगे? So there is a peak time for that also, and that is young age. Yes, the same age, the peak time for all activities is young age, not old age. Unfortunate today, people say कि ये क्या कर रहे हो, अभी तो तुम बहुत छोटे हो, बुढ़ापे में करना. Unfortunate. Any which ways. So for an athlete to achieve that top position at his peak age requires commitment, discipline, determination, and dedication and consistency. Consistency, isn't it? It's full consistency. And then, when you're focusing towards your art, towards your sport, towards your music, or towards God, what happens? Both your hands get occupied because you know time is running out. समय उतना ही है. Your mind, all your faculties get engaged in that activity only because you want to achieve it. With that limited time, limited span of time, you want to achieve that unachievable or difficult to achieve thing. And slowly by slowly, everything that is taking away time from this dream is dropped off. One by one by one by one, all gone. Be it people, be it things, be it your things that you enjoy. Many a times for an athlete, he has to leave things that he relishes to eat also. Everything. That is a tapas. That time when a singer is playing his music, that ultimate peace which is remembered by the world, he is connected to the divine. Because he is lost, only his music remains. That time when the swimmer hits the water and he swims that gold medal winning race, he is not there anymore. Only the water remains. Nothing. There is no body, nothing. He forgets himself. That forgetting yourself is nirvana, is attainment. But for that you have to forget yourself. So you can substitute for a limited duration. You can substitute good for sugar, right? Jaggery for sugar. You can substitute jaggery for chocolates. You can substitute one thing for another. But ultimately, if the problem is sweets, you have to give that up also, right? Aage piche to, you have to drop that jaggery also. That is where the difficulty comes. So when an athlete or a musician or a sadhak is immersed to reach that place, okay? To reach that divine, to reach that, all the effort, all the energy, and one by one, without his knowing and knowingly, he's dropping away everything. For a sadhak, family, friends, other things, food, everything, clothes, whatever material things that he liked, everything is left. For an athlete also, everything is left. For a musician also, everything is left. So much so that he talks only so that, his voice does not get disturbed. The sadhak maintains an attention towards the Lord so that nothing else comes in his mind. And what happens? At that time, everything else is removed and that empty space is filled by either God or your sport or your music, depending on what you have left everything else for. ठीक है? Now comes a point where everything else is gone. Imagine. Now when you turn around, there is nobody for you. You left everything for that one thing. ठीक है? Just imagine. कोई भी नहीं है आगे पीछे. For an athlete, the only support system he has is his sport, because he compromised even on his education for that. ठीक है? That is also not there anymore. एक ही चीज हो सकती है. When you want to accomplish in life that kind of a dedication, determination, and blind rush. It's like wearing a hood, the horses, so that you look at only this, nothing else is visible. So till you're looking at that sport or music or God, you walk, you come a very long distance. Effort, it becomes effortless. And then suddenly if somebody says, give up your sport, it is time now to leave the sport also. Suppose, what will you say? Arey, how can I give up my sport? How can I give up my music? I left everything in this world for this. At the minute I give up this, firstly, nothing is left. There will be vacuum. Now, if somebody says, now your want and desire for God should also go away, what will you say? Because of this Lord, I left the world, I left the material plane, I left everything, I have nothing now apart from Him. And now you're saying, isko bhi chhod do. What are you saying? And then the sadhak trembles, because now there is a void. There is nothing that fills that vacuum. खाली हो गया ना? अब क्या होगा? And this is the time when most of the sadhaks, most of the determined people who have reached so far, fall, collapse, and are finished. Only a few who know that it is okay. This vacuum shall pass. It is just a lull before the storm. They keep walking on faith. Because in sadhana there is an entire different realm of bliss which cannot be experienced by your senses. We want to experience everything by our senses based on what we have seen in this world. Remember that even riddhis, siddhis are all sense-based. Enjoyment, everything, even the desire to hold on to something. There is something beyond. So have you seen this rocket? When it goes out, it needs a lot of force to leave the atmosphere of the earth. And after that, there is a free flow. But that force, that faith, that direction is needed. चाहे आप कोई भी क्यों ना हो, there will be a point in your life where there will be a vacuum. If you are ready to face that, walk on this path. For anybody. Because there is always a trade-off. And for spirituality, ये है ना, शूरवीरों का पाथ है, कावर्ड्स के लिए नहीं है. ये आग का दरिया है और आपको डूब के जाना है. You sit on the shore, you have reached the shore. It is like Arjun has reached the shore and now he is asking, how deep is the ocean? To know how deep is the ocean, you'll have to take a dip in the ocean. आपको कूदना ही पड़ेगा. The ship is safe in the harbor, isn't it? It is safe. With the anchor and all. Anchor, right? Anchor, our Guru, our Bhagwan. It is safe. But then suddenly, when the anchor is lifted and the ship has to go, because that is where the ship is supposed to be. Himmat hai? We say, right? Take the leap of faith. Take the leap of faith. And the one who takes the leap of faith knows that yes, the net will appear. आप कूद के तो देखो, पर डर जाते हैं ना. So Arjun is like, oh my goodness, I have left everything for this, अब ये नहीं छोड़ सकता मैं. सीधी सी बात है. And then what will happen? If I leave Sattva, he's saying, if I leave this, again, there will be so much of turmoil in my mind. I won't be stable anymore. We have to remember, Sri Krishna is trying to stabilize Arjun. Arjun is capable. Arjun ji is there, but he is not sthit yet. Unko sthapit karna hai abhi. So he is still agitated. And this happens in the life of every sadhak. Every single sadhak. This is something that nobody can deny. So there are two perspectives of our scriptures. Now from the worldly perspective, we understood that household is a unit which cannot be polluted. It is the foundation stone of Sanatana Dharma. If this gets polluted, if this gets broken, then the entire Dharma Vyavastha will get destroyed. At the same time, we are saying that wars cause this. From the outer perspective, I'm just reiterating. Yes, we cannot destroy a family unit. And a family unit should use its vivek. See, we are all humans, right? And what is the difference between a human and an animal? We have the discriminating ability. Other than that, we and the animals are the same. But unfortunately today, we are, that is what he's saying, जानवर बन जाएंगे. We are leading the life of animals only. We eat, we drink, we have children, we sleep, we fight for possessions and material gains, we fight for our territories, and we die. That is not what a human is supposed to do. Human birth is very rare, it is very precious, and it is there to help you elevate, to reach your true Satchit Anand Swarup. And for that, our Mahatmas have put the steps in place. And everything that we do, all the traditions and cultural values, are one step after another towards that. Now you will say, how does it matter? Of course it matters. Now think about it one more time. See, I'm jumping from the Adhyatmic to the outer perspective. Apologies for that, but just bear with me. Now, if we take two roses, right, different breeds of roses, and we have a hybrid, right? So that breed is lost. Now, where is the pure breed? We talk about the pure breed, right? In our Vyavastha, everybody is fit for something or the other, right? They have this ability, they have that ability. Purane Jamane mein, Shastras used to be not written, they were orally said. So orally one knowledge to the other. Artist would give one knowledge to the other. The Bandya would give one knowledge to the other. And that system was very essential at that time. There is no discrimination saying one job is menial and one job is better. It was just that kind of people were, and again, when you marry to the same kind of family. So even the sanskars of the girl and the boy are the same. And so they are able to follow the family traditions, be it a Brahmanic tradition, Satriyaka tradition, or they have different activities forward. When this admixture happens, then confusion happens. Isn't it? It's natural. It happens today also. If two families who are following different cultures, they come together, what happens? A mixture happens. Wrong, good, bad, I'm not saying anything. But ye hota hai and we cannot deny it. And Arjun is saying that nobody would know the path anymore. And there is everybody. Varna system is, we all have our own fragrances, right? We all have our own prarabdhas. We all have our own vasanas. We all are different. So what path applies for me might not apply for you. The way I reach God could be different from you. What makes me establish in my Satchidanand Swarup might not work for you. So, based on those Varnas, everybody had a different path. This is the beauty of Sanatana Dharma. Everybody was aiming towards one Satchidanand Swarup. There was no discrimination. However, based on their Varnas, their fragrances, there were different paths. There was a different division. He said, oh my God, if there is an admixture, people will not know what works for them, what does not work for them, what they should follow, what they should not follow. There will be so much of a confusion. And that is what has happened. So, both these things are happening, and they have an adhyatmic impact also. Because when you are confused in the outside world, you do not know what to follow, अंदर का सच्चित आनंद स्वरूप कैसे जागेगा? So these 2 points are what so far Arjun has tried to explain from verse number 38 to verse number 44. Is first, from the external perspective, the household will get deluded, and the traditions, the culture, the sadharm, the dharm, everything will be lost, and people will lose the path to reach the Satchit Anand Swarup. Second, he's saying from the inside, if I Rajas and Tamas, if I let go, it is okay. But if I let go of my sattvic tendencies, if I stop doing everything and I'm just being, I'll get inert. And when I get inert, things are going to attack me. And then it is going to become difficult to refrain from the negative activities. And then I will fall again. Plus, I am not ready to face the vacuum of giving away what I had worked so hard for. These are the 2 points that Arjun is bringing about. Ab sochiye. Isn't it beautiful? If we delve deeper, we realize that these kind of dilemmas happen with everybody. Be it in the material world or the spiritual world, be it an artist or a musician, be it a mother or a father. It is very relevant today. This dilemma is happening in you currently also. Identify it, recognize it, write it down. Because this is what chapter 1 is all about. Introspecting and finding out what is your dilemma, what is your weakness, what is troubling you, what is stopping you from walking forward and becoming one with that divine. What is your bottleneck? Until we have done enough introspection, till we have thought in various different ways in this chapter, आगे कुछ नहीं होगा. And again, Arjun is not talking baselessly. He is talking based on scriptures, based on what people have said, based on what will happen. So he is again not wrong. First thing, he is not wrong when he says that we cannot destroy a family unit because the kul or the varna, because it is the path to Satchidanand Swarup. At the same time, he is saying that if I drop my sattvic tendencies, I have heard that I will fall into the clutches of rajasic and eventually tamasic tendencies again. And I do not want that. Plus, the shunya, where everything has already left me, I have nothing else but this to hold on to, is scary. See, the locus of control, over here, he is keeping the locus of control with him, right? But you have to let go. When you know that there is a greater power beyond you working on you, when you know that it is not you who have chosen God, God has chosen you. It is not that sport you have chosen. The sport has chosen you. Everything in this universe has been pre-planned already. हो नहार भावी प्रबल बिलक कहे बुनिनाथ हर इलाब जीवन मरण यश अपयश विधि हाथ. सब विधि के हाथ है. आप आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. Yes, but again there is a very thin line. Because if you say, oh, it is not in my hand, so why should I do? No. It has to be done. You have to walk. You have to tread. विवेक, इसी के लिए विवेक की जरूरत है. discrimination. No, I will try my best, knowing that already everything is determined and decided by the Lord. होनी होके रहती, टाले नहीं टलती. जो होना है वो होके रहेगा, पर आपको तो अपना कर्म करना ही है ना. इवेंचुअली अर्जुन को बोलेंगे श्री कृष्ण, मैं अर्जुन तुम क्या हो. आएगा soon. In Geeta it comes now. The people you are seeing are already being eaten by me. Who are you? That you, that me, that I is ego. और वो अभी तक अर्जुन में है कि मैं कर रहा हूँ, मेरे साथ ऐसा हो जाएगा, मैंने इतनी मेहनत करी है. I have worked so hard to leave the rajasic and the tamasic tendencies. I, अरे भाई, if it would have been for you, nothing would have happened. It was the grace. We can come a certain distance with effort, but beyond that, it is grace. होता है ना, this is the best I could do. अब प्रभु इच्छा, but प्रभु इच्छा पे छोड़ना पड़ेगा ना. You have to lift the anchor, you have to jump into the ocean, you have to take the plunge of faith. So keeping these two arguments, which are very valid and based on Shastras. This is one more thing, please take with you. Don't talk baseless. Talk what is given down by our gurus. Talk based on what is written in our scriptures. Don't, many a times we have to say that vivek bhi chhod do, because now we cannot discriminate because we don't have knowledge enough to discriminate. So drop that vivek also. Just go blindly by what gurus and the scriptures are saying. Because we have become so deluded and so conditioned that we ourselves do not know what is right, what is wrong, and how will we reach a point where there is no right or wrong. Initially तो आपको उधर से ही जाना पड़ेगा ना. Like Arjun, right है, wrong है, choose till you reach a point when you realize that there is no right, no wrong. Because everything is happening as per the Lord's will. But to reach that point, that discrimination is needed. Unfortunately, we are so conditioned. Because of that, just follow the scriptures. As he says, Bhavatitya nu shushruba. Suna hai, maine suna hai. Scriptures se suna hai. It is not what I am saying. Beautiful lessons today. This is something we have to mull over and keep thinking about. It is very deep. Let's see. If needed, we will revisit these two verses one more time, depending on how deep our understanding is. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ram. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Ram Lakshman Janaki, Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Ram Lakshman Janaki, Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Ram Lakshman Janaki, Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Bolo Bajrang Bali ki jai. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna.